here, go there. All right. Mic check 1, mic check 2. If you are watching this live stream back on the replay, take advantage of the chapters and skip ahead to the start of the show. I'm still setting up and giving people some time to tune in. All right, around this time of the show, with me still setting up and doing that type of stuff, I am going to give you guys market notable events if there was something that took place that we need to be aware of today. So I'm gonna give you that in 1 second. Let me get this social stream ninja chat pulled up and make sure we have that going. And I'm about to share this stream on Facebook. So give me 1 second to take care of that and we'll get to it. Oh, I got a few messages. I'll take care of that after the live stream. So here we go. Come on, come on, come on. All right, let me share this stream. Share. We are live. There we go. Share now. All right, guys, we're good there. So now let me give you the market notable events. So this is what I have for you guys. The Fed spoke today. Kevin Warsh, the chair, announced during the FOMC meeting the interest rate decision was to hold rates steady. This is likely what drove the volatility we saw in the market today. So we saw a sell-off shortly after the Fed statement was released at 2 p.m. Eastern time. So that's that. And we covered Meta Platforms Incorporated, ticker META, pre-earnings on Monday, July 27th this week. Their earnings were released today and they beat market expectations on the top line, reporting $60.8 billion in revenue. They missed on the bottom line, reporting a net income of $15.9 billion. And a link for that live stream is down in the description. All right, so let me finish setting up. I got that out the way and gave you guys that. So pro market close, we're covering Microsoft tonight. So we have that. Put that on the right time frame. So we're good there. We have all the other stuff we're looking at. We're good down there. What time is it? We got 1 minute, guys. That's perfect. Oh. And I'm ready for the foolishness tonight. Any of that crazy stuff that happened yesterday, boy, I sat down, I was like, nope, we doing a checklist. We getting us a checklist together. I said I was gonna do it and I did it and I did it and I didn't use it and all. No, we gonna take care of that tonight. I need to finish it, but for the most part, I created a checklist, so we should be better prepared for these live streams when we have them. We have been getting here on time though. We have been getting here at 10:55 and we're reaching that milestone, guys, and you guys have been helping out tremendously. So we're almost about to have 100,000 views on the channel, and I just got to keep putting out this content where I want to say 10 videos, 10 live streams away from, well, 10 videos, 10 pieces of content away from having 400 pieces of content video on the channel. So we're almost there for that milestone, guys. So it's coming together. All right, now let's go ahead and get the show started. Welcome to Market Recap Live. I'm your host, Joseph Martin, and thank God. Oh, thank God. It is Wednesday, guys. It is Wednesday. And tonight we are taking a look at ticker MSFT. You might know them better as Microsoft. Microsoft Corporation was founded in 1975 by Bill Gates and Paul Allen, with the first office opening in Albuquerque, New Mexico. Ooh, that's a heck of a spelling. Now they're publicly traded on the NASDAQ and have a market value over $2 trillion. Yes, that's $1 trillion. Microsoft is in the software industry in the information technology sector, and they are listed in the S&P 500 index. Some of Microsoft's competitors are Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, Alphabet Incorporated, ticker GOOGL, and Amazon.com Incorporated, ticker AMZN. We're going to review Microsoft's earnings, their website, and pull up the charts to perform a quick technical analysis. But before we do that, let's do our roll call and check our stream poll. We are streaming live on YouTube, Facebook, and X. Let's get this chat going and tell us where you're tuning in from. Put a YT in the chat if you're tuning in from YouTube, FB for Facebook, and an X for X. While you guys are filling up the stream and the chat, here's the mission statement. We are building a community over here for people who want to take control of the financial situation by learning how to unlock the wealth building power of the stock market. And we are streaming Monday through Friday following trading sessions at 11 p.m. Eastern time. The U.S. stock market regular trading hours are 9:30 a.m. to 4 p.m. Eastern time, and there's a link for the New York Stock Exchange calendar down in the description. All right, now let's get to it, guys. Let's get to these earnings. Is that everything? Yes, it is. There we go. Boy, I love when a plan come together. All right, let's get started. Microsoft Corporation, ticker symbol MSFT, the $2.9 trillion company, reported its fourth quarter fiscal year 2026 earnings on Wednesday, July 29th. They have a 52-week high. Wait a minute. Something back there blowing my mind back there. Hold on one second. We got something going on. Let me back up just a little bit. That flow was too smooth, wasn't it? I had to mess it up. Let me go back and start from the top. Here we go. Microsoft Corporation, ticker symbol MSFT, the $2.9 trillion company, reported its fourth quarter fiscal year 2026 earnings on Wednesday, July 29th. They have a 52-week high of $555.45, which took place on July 31st last year, and a 52-week low of $349.20 that occurred on June 25th, which is a trading range of $206.25, and they closed today at $390.54. Microsoft Corporation earnings report beat on the top line, reporting revenue of $90 billion, which was higher than the market expectations of $87.6 billion, and they beat on the bottom line as cloud data center demand and AI acceleration drove strong revenue growth. EPS was higher than the analyst and market expectations of $4.24 when they reported an adjusted EPS of $4.74. Microsoft Corporation reported a GAAP net income of $35.8 billion, which is higher than the $27.3 billion net income they reported this same quarter last year. This represents an increase of 31.1%. So for the fourth fiscal quarter of 2025, their net profit was approximately 23.7% lower than it is compared to now a year later. The earnings were released after the market closed, followed by a 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time conference call. As far as guidance, management expects double-digit revenue and operating income growth in fiscal year 2027. That 52-week low compared to today's closing of $390.54 represents an increase of 11.84% in just over a month. So if someone invested $1,000 in June at that 52-week low of $349.20, they would be seeing a gain of $118.40. Woo! We did that. All right, now let's move on, guys. Let's go here. There we go. Researching a company. Let's talk about why we visit these company websites. We're looking at the visuals and text to find answers to these key questions. What goods and or services does the company sell? How important are those goods and services to their customers? What makes this company stand out from the competition? And how well do they take care of their employees? Where we look, we search for those answers in four main areas: the homepage for the goods and or services, about us for purpose, vision, values, and mission statements, careers for employee benefits and opportunities, and investor relations for stock quotes, charts, and financial reports. And for your convenience, all companies featured in tonight's live stream are down in the description. Now let's go visit Microsoft's website. Let's go. All right, so here we go. Bam, bam, bam. We good. All right, so here we are on Microsoft's website. Let's browse over this and see where we're gonna go. All Microsoft. Ooh, look at all this stuff that popped up. Yeah, we ain't going there. We're gonna scroll down to the bottom. I think everything we need is gonna be right at the bottom of the page. So let's see what we can find, because they're gonna try to sell us everything on the way. I guarantee you. All right. Hi there. Welcome to Microsoft Personal or Business. Got it. Windows 11. Get the ultimate college bundle. See offer. Shop Surface, shop Microsoft 365, Xbox, find your PC, a lot of different stuff there. Software, accessories you'll love. Get to know AI and Copilot. Delivering lifelines, growing hope. There's a browse through there. Remember, there are links down in the description for these companies we're covering tonight if you want to check this stuff out on your own. And hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Over here, this is where we're going, guys. So we got careers, we got about Microsoft. Let me make sure we zoomed in. That might be a little small. We're good. That's at 150. So we're going to careers, about Microsoft, and investors. Everything we need is right there. So let's get started. About Microsoft. Let's see what we can find. We empower the world. Got it. Microsoft mission is to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more. Gotcha. Let me double check something real quick, guys. Yeah, that's fine. All right, delete that. Our opportunity and responsibility. We believe that companies that can do more should. Got it. Expand opportunity, earn trust, protect fundamental rights, advance sustainability. Got it. Microsoft Copilot. Discover more from Microsoft, culture and careers. Diversity and inclusion. Inclusion is innovation. Our corporate values. Our values align to our mission, support our culture, and serve as a declaration of how we treat each other, our customers, and our partners. Respect, integrity, accountability. Explore Microsoft. All right, so we got through that about Microsoft. Now let's go to careers. And there's a video. Please don't play. And they zoomed us out. Let's zoom back in. So we got that together. Empowered by purpose, united by mission. When you join Microsoft, you're not just stepping into a job. You're stepping into a mission-driven company where purpose is at the heart of everything we do. Our mission to empower every person and every organization on the planet to achieve more isn't just words. It's our foundation. It's what sets us apart. Okay, so that's their mission. And guys, there are the benefits. So let me take me off the screen and let me show you right here, guys, benefits. And that's the bottom of this page. So we're going to go ahead and go to the benefits and check those out. Bam. Our benefits, support that goes beyond the workplace. I'm not reading all that. I'm going to read the first sentence. At Microsoft, doing your best work begins with being empowered to live your best life. Got it. How we work, Microsoft's hybrid workplace. Where are the benefits? Here we go, guys. World-class benefits. Get and stay healthy, plan for the future, enjoy the perks, take time away, care for your family, continue your education, get great discounts, join in giving. So yeah, guys, the link is down in the description so you can read over that. I just want to browse over it. All right. So Microsoft benefit essentials. Find out more about the benefits Microsoft offers to employees and their families. Benefits information may vary depending on your location. Makes sense. Currently, details are available for US-based employees, but we will soon provide information for other countries. Stay tuned for updates. Got it. So non-Microsoft employees, US only, and then Microsoft employees, US only. So that's where that is, guys. Our commitment to pay equity. Got it. Life at Microsoft. Okay. So now let's go to investor relations. We can get ready to wrap this up. Here we go. So we're back at the home page, investors. We got through it. No thanks. Don't give me that. Don't start throwing me off. So here we go. Investor relations up here at the top. Investor information. Nope. That's not where the stock information is. Earnings and financials. Don't see something that stands out in those tabs. Here it is, guys. So here's the stock quote and the chart that they have available on the website. and it looks like it's a hyperlink. So we're going to click on that in a second. Let's finish browsing over this page. It's very short. Upcoming events, past events, I want to, and investor service. Got it. So right here where we see the stock information, we can see that it turns into a hyperlink and it took us somewhere else. Where the heck did it take us? It took us to MSN. It took us to their, I believe Microsoft owns MSN. Don't quote me. Look it up. This could be another way for them to promote something that they're investing in or that they own. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look that up right now. Let's figure that out right now. Let's close that out. Let me put me on the screen because I can talk about my research about Microsoft while I look this up over here real quick because I want to find this out. Does Microsoft own MSN? I'll do that on the side. Let me tell you what I found out about the company right here. So the clients and partners, let's talk about that. Microsoft Corporation does have clients and partners that are listed in the S&P 500. Some notable names include Walmart Incorporated, ticker WMT, General Motors Company, ticker GM, and Chevron Corporation, ticker CVX. All right, now before we go any further, let me ask AI this question real quick. Might be a silly question, but hey, just ask. Hey, I was right. So, and let me tell you why this stood out to me. Because guys, this was the first time that we pulled up, or I pulled up. Yeah, we pulled up, our community pulled up a chart, stock chart quote on a company's website. And it actually took us to like a public website that has stock information on it. This was the first time that ever happened. So I was guessing, I'm like, you know what, maybe Microsoft owns this company and instead of them outsourcing that data, they just redirected traffic over to something else they own to keep it within their network, if that makes sense, to keep it under their umbrella. That's what I was thinking. So here's the information right here. It says, make sure we zoomed in. Yes, Microsoft owns and operates MSN, which stands for Microsoft Network. It was launched alongside Windows 95 in August 1995 and is currently managed under Microsoft's AI division. There we go, guys. Do a little research and find out a little bit more. Now let's go here and let's talk about this, the mobile limitations, guys. Before we look at the charts, remember, professionals trade from a computer, not a mobile device. Mobile trading apps are unlimited and don't have all the features that are available on full trading platforms. Now, let's look at Microsoft Corporation on the charts. Let's go. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, we rolling tonight, guys. All right, so we are looking at a 1 year daily chart for Microsoft. They're right there in the symbol box. They have a 52-week high of $555.40. Here's their 52-week low of $349.20. All right, now let's look at a higher time frame. Take that off. Let's go to a 10-year weekly chart. Take me off the screen so you can see everything. So here's 2016 buried down there, and this is a 10-year weekly chart for Microsoft, okay? So you can verify what time frame we're looking at, and we do have the full 10 years. So sometimes even if we pull up a chart that even if we pull up the 10-year weekly chart, if they don't have enough data, it'll stop short. So that's one of the first things we check to make sure we have the full 10 years. All right. So they have a 10-year low. Let me erase this arrow. They have a 10-year low of $55.61 and a 10-year high of $55.45, which is also the 52-week high that is about to roll off the calendar soon. Not calendar, but the chart. It's about to roll off the 52-week chart soon. All right. That's what we're doing there. All right. So, oh, guys, this is interesting. All right. So let's zoom in and start doing these technicals. OK, so we're on the 10-year weekly chart. And one of the first things that's standing out to me, guys, is that today's price closed right on the 200-day simple movement average, or right near it. Yeah. OK, so what we're seeing right now, this is the closing price for today. And I'm going to verify that right up here, guys. $390.54. Now, the 200 week simple moving average and the 9-week simple moving average are crossing one another. Like they're all in the same spot. So because all of them are in the same spot, this bubble is taking priority over the other two bubbles. So you only see one. So let me show you what the SMAs are saying. Here they are right here. So the green one is the 9-week simple moving average, and it's at $389.05. And the 200-week simple moving average is at $390.66. So you see how everything is so close. The bubbles are layered on one, they're layered on top of one another, and it only shows you one at a time. So that's why we only see the closing price for Microsoft right now. Okay, so let's start doing our technicals. I gave you that, so we got that taken care of. Now we can start looking for where we see support and resistance. So it's right at the midpoint as far as the simple moving averages for the 9-week and the 200-week, which is something we look at for support and resistance as well, and it's right near it. Okay, so we talked about that. We said that. Now let's get some areas of support and resistance. Here we go. I'm seeing $428.67 as resistance. I'm seeing a lot of weekly candles, wicks, test that area. You see an open and a close near that price level there, and a lot of price action over here at that level. As far as support, I'm seeing a few candles respond to where it's at right now, guys. You got another one. You got another one. I'm going to put it right here on the open of that weekly candle, and I'm seeing some wicks over here responding to it. I'm seeing a close on that week over there, some wicks over here, the midpoint of this red candle. So yeah, that's a lot of price action right around that $390, guys. It's a lot of different, no wonder it came right to it. Like it's got a lot of different things going on right there. Okay, so I'm looking over here to find one more area of support. I'm trying to get a few of these wicks. I'm gonna say it's that one, guys. So I'm looking at 350. Nah, I'm gonna say it's this one, because if we go back, we can see, let me take me off the screen. We can see the top of this wick respond to that price level of $350. I wasn't supposed to push that button. I was supposed to push this one right here, guys. So that's around 350. And also, guys, that's around the psychological price level that we talk about, those round numbers. So let me write that on here, or put this on here for you. So that's just about around $350. So that's the psychological level of support and resistance. Then we see a few weeks wicks responding to that price level there as well. We see an open and a close around there, open and wicks. Yeah, guys, 350. 350 is significant with Microsoft from what I'm seeing. All right, now let's look for one more. I want to see if we can find something as far as resistance. I'm liking that level right there, but that's 455. So if we look here, it looks like it found, yeah, I like this one better. So the reason why you have 2 weeks that tested that price level up here, and this candle started to test that. Then you see 2 other weeks right here as well. So I'm gonna put it right here. So that's $466.32 I'm seeing as resistance on the higher time frame. All right, we got enough on the weekly chart. We spent a lot of time on that. Now, let's go back down to the 1-year daily chart, and let's focus on what we're seeing right now before we do the quote and start talking about the volume. So let me zoom in and space this out. I was seeing a few gaps, like they're really small, but it's a few gaps on this chart. This one is the widest one I see that's recent. So let me highlight that one right now. And it's so close to where the price is right now. It's this crazy, like it's so much price action bunched at that $390 price point. Edit properties. I'm gonna leave it gray, and I'm gonna extend it over to December 1st. And remember, next month, we're going to start using January 1st. So there we go. That was a previous gap. It's been closed. It's been closed. But previous gaps turn into support and resistance. So it's already right near that price point. Now, let's talk about the 9-day and 200-day simple moving average on the lower time frame. The 9-day is really close to the closing price for today, so we can't see it like I explained before. So here's the 200-day simple moving average, and let's find out what the 9-day simple moving average is for today. So I'm gonna mouse over that candle, and then I'm gonna highlighted right here. So the 9-day simple moving average is at $391.16. As far as resistance, see, we got another gap here. We got another gap here. And then this gap will overlap with that slightly. Got another gap there. I'm going to say right around here. Let me pull up these crosshairs so we can see it. Is that a price level tool? Let me double check. Price level, yes. So I'm trying to see what we see over to the left that responded to what we have going on now. Yeah, guys. So the close on that green candle right there, we can see a lot of wicks open and closes responding to that price level at 400. Look at that. Another psychological price level, $400. Yep. $400. Then we have like a consolidation range in here. Here's a gap around that. So we're good at that 428. And then seeing resistance at the 200-day simple moving average at 434.13. That's what I got, guys. And then we have a gap on the way down. So I would look at that as well. But this is enough. This is enough. We're good. Let's go ahead and get the stock quote for Microsoft so we can talk about the volume. Let's take all this stuff off. At least that up there, because that's not even aligned up no more. So let's leave that. Let's go up here to our settings. Cut on our floating data box. And let's get the stock quote for Microsoft. So Microsoft opened today at $393.40. They had a high of $401.25. They had a low of $388.74. And they closed today at $390.54, which was a trading range of $12.51. Now, when we look at the trading volume, guys, they traded 47.2 million shares of this stock today. Now, remember, the earnings were announced after the market closed, so we should see a spike in volume tomorrow, Thursday. Yeah, Thursday, tomorrow, same thing. All right, so we talked about the volume. Now, let's go ahead and figure out, is that a big deal? Is it a little deal? We about to find out. Take the floating data box off the screen, take me off the screen, and let's talk about the average trading volume for Microsoft in a daily trading session. Guys, they trade about 30 million shares in a regular daily trading session. And today, they did 17 million more than what they do on average. And then we see an increase because on Tuesday, yesterday, this green candle right there, they traded 32 million shares that day. So we see an increase in volume, and both of those days were above average. Okay. So of course, the chart moving a little bit. Let's take all those arrows off. Let me put me back on the screen and let's just keep going. All right. So when we talk about the volume percentile, guys, out of the most recent 252 trading days, today's volume is higher than 91.3% of those trading days volumes. To be exact, only 22 of those days had higher volume than today. Also, Microsoft went on the move in extended hours. So up here, we can see that the closing price was $390.54, but it's currently trading at $420 and 50 something ish cents. All right. Because it's a slight spread between the bid and ask. But let's go ahead and go to a 5-day minute chart. So now we're looking at minute candles so we can actually see what the price did in extended hours. And we can see that in extended hours, that $429.94 is responding to a price level that we just got from the higher time frame. Okay. And if you don't see this on your chart, you go to the settings, go to equities, and this box right here where it says show extended hours trading session needs to be checked. If you don't have it checked, your chart is going to not have that gray area. Okay. So I'm going to cut it back on equities. Check that box. Bam. So we got that. We talked about the volume. Let's go back to the 1 year daily chart. We got that. Yeah, we covered it. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. So we go here, there. Good. All right, community support. Back to the community. I would appreciate it very much if you guys share the stream, hit the like button, subscribe, and if you wish to send a monetary gift to support the content, Cash App and PayPal links are down in the description as well as on the ticker on the screen. And it takes $10 to become the first sponsor of tonight's show. And there you go. So we got that. Now let's move on. The S&P 500 index. All right, let's look at what the S&P 500 index did today. By using the SPY ETF, this ETF gives investors an opportunity to participate in the broader U.S. market by allowing them to own a percentage of each company inside the S&P 500 index. Let's go back to the charts. Bam, bam, bam. Take that down, and then we're going to pull up the SPY. Yes, sir. All right, now let's go over here to our symbol box. And let's put in SPY, SPY. Yeah. Ooh. Let me take me off the screen and let's break it down, guys. All right, so we're looking at the SPY. I showed you where we typed that in at, and we're looking at a 1-year daily chart. The SPY has a 52-week low of $619.29 and a 52-week high of $760.40. And we can also see that the SPY is on the move right now, trading a little higher than where it closed at $729.46. So that's where my eyes are focused on. That's what I'm peeking and looking at. All right, put me back on the screen. Let's go over here and let's zoom in to the recent price action. And I want to pick up where we left off yesterday. I want to pick up where we left off yesterday. So yesterday I was talking about how some people were seeing this as a triangle pattern, but I didn't use one of the words. I did show you what I was seeing. I was focusing on the body of the candles, or the majority of the recent candles bodies being within this range between $737.05 and $749.88, which is near a psychological price level of $750. That's what we were talking about yesterday. So yesterday, this green candle right here was trading below the 9-day simple movement average and at the bottom of that range I was seeing. So because this is a range that I was seeing, you would call that, or we would call that, consolidation. After consolidation, the price is likely to break out to the upside or the downside. So based off what we're seeing right now, what happened today, the price has broken out to, of course, the downside. Okay, so that's what we're seeing there. I can erase this box so we can focus on where we are right now. So this is today's candle, which I already pointed out. And our next level of support, guys, is going to be right here at $727.82. Now, something that I want to point out to you that's interesting is, guys, we have a gap right here. And remember, previous gaps turn into support and resistance. So I'm going to, you can't see it right here, guys, these two candles. So the dates for those candles are May 5th and May 6th. So there was a gap between the high of May 5th and the low of May 6th. So let me highlight that. Bam, bam, and extend it over to December 1st. Bam, 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 bam. That's my thing. Bam. And then I'm going to change it to a darker gray. I'm going to use a darker gray. Is that lighter or darker? Is that the same? I'm confused. Wait a minute. Let's edit that. Let's see. The lighter. Let's use the lighter. Okay, so the lighter is going to tell us that that was a previous gap that was closed. So we can see that it started to approach that area, but it didn't quite reach it. But we have that as a previous gap, which would turn into support or resistance. So since the price is above it, that would turn into support. And then we had a support zone down here anyway, where the prices on that gap, on that zone, support zone, let's be specific, on that support zone, the bottom of that zone was $723.77, and the top of that zone was $725.04. That zone down here at the bottom before we put that previous gap that was closed, okay? So that's what we have for the SPY. So let's get the stock quote for the SPY and talk about the volume, all right? I don't want this to be too busy. I think the arrow is fine for right now. So let's go up to the settings. cut on the floating data box and let's talk about the quote for the SPY. So the SPY opened today at $739.97. They had a high of $742.68. They had a low of $729.10. And they closed today at $729.46, which was a trading range of $13.58, guys. The trading volume starting to get a little bit better, guys. So they traded 70.6 million shares of this ETF today. Now, let's break this down and talk about what I'm talking about. Like, what you mean a little bit better? What you talking about? I got you. I'm about to show you. So let's cut off the floating data box and talk about this volume. Take me off the screen. So the average trading volume for the SPY in a daily trading session, guys, is 71 million shares. Today they did 70, which came really close to average. As you can see, the previous volume, so this was Tuesday, that candle right there, guys, we traded 47 million shares that day. So that was below average. By over 20 million shares, it was below average, all right? So here's what I want to show you. Let me erase some of these and point out what we're saying. So I'm going to leave the average volume pointed out to you. When I mouse over the candles, this box right here is going to change. That's going to tell you what the volume is for the candle that I moused over. So if you look, it matches the volume label right below it. The yellow one matches the volume that I pointed to right there. Let me make a box. This box, guys, be more specific. That box is what I want you to pay attention to. But the box is going to adjust as I mouse over the different candles, but I just wanted to make that clear again. So notice that's the day, that's Tuesday, that was below average. Now you can see that that matches the previous label. So now when we look at Monday, it's below average as well. It's in the 40s. Then when we go to Friday, it's in the 40s. We go to Thursday of last week, it's 55. We go to Wednesday of last week, if I'm not mistaken, that's 32. I'm moving kind of fast. That's why I'm like not mistaken. So this would be Monday. That would be Friday, Thursday. Right. So that's Wednesday. That's Tuesday. Tuesday was 34. Monday was 50. You see how many of those days are below average? Like the highest one we've seen is 62. And that's the one we're moused over right now. And that's July 17th. So it's been, the SPY has been trading below average volume for a few days, like over a week. All right. So that's why I got excited when I seen it was close to 70. So here's the thing. Once the volume came in, what's interesting about this is once the volume came in, you got more people that's considering what the price should be. Stock came down. The ETF came down. Came down when the volume started to kick in. Okay. So now let's talk about the volume percentile. The volume percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 54.4% of those most recent trading days. So to be specific, 137 of those days were lower than today's volume, and 115 of those days were above. All right. So we got that. We got that. We talked about the volume. We did all of that. And it's moving after hours, but it's not by much. I think we're good. Let's go ahead and move on. So let's go here, take that down. Yeah, take that down, go here. All right. Sector performance tracker. Time to follow the money. Let's look at each sector inside the S&P 500 index to see how they perform today, guys. All right. So let's go back to the charts. Go here, take that down. Got the ticker up for the performance tracker. Absolutely. Check that. We're good. Okay. So what we're going to do, we're going to go right here to the grids and change this to sector performance. Woo. I know that look busy, guys. If this is your first time watching that, I got you. We're going to go through these labels and talk about the performance in these sectors today using one decimal place. Okay. And then if we see something funny, then I'll add a decimal if necessary, but we'll keep it simple for right now. So the SPY percentage change for today, they're down 1.5%. Energy is up 1.9%. Materials is down 1.2%. Industrials is down 3.2%. Consumer discretionary is down 0.8%. Consumer staples is up 0.3%. Healthcare is down 0.6%. Financials is down 1.6%. Information technology is down 2.6%. Communication services is down 0.2%. Utilities is down 1.3%. And real estate is down 0.1%. Guys, just down. Now, let's get our notes and the watch list. So let me pull up our notes. Here are our notes, and I already have it filled in, guys. So let's talk about it. So our number one gainer today is energy, up 1.9%. Our second gainer is consumer staples, XLP. They're up 0.3%. And here's an interesting one, guys. Our third gainer, I put up a 2. Our third gainer actually lost today because they lost the least out of the rest of the sectors that lost. Okay, so that's an extreme. So real estate lost 0.1%. Now, out of our losers, our biggest losers were industrials coming in at number one. They lost 3.2%. Information technology lost 2.6%. Number two loser, and the number three loser was financials. They lost 1.6%. All right. Now, if you want the second decimal places, I'm going to put this in ascending order so you can see it right over here. Our top three gainers: energy, consumer staples, and real estate. And then from the bottom would be our biggest losers. So industrials, information technology, and financials. And this highlighted row is the SPY. All right, now let's go through our tool and start looking at what stood out this month through all of the sectors. So let's go over here where it says both, and then let's start going through the sectors. So let's look at the first one. We got communication services. So they were our third biggest gainer on Monday and our third biggest gainer on Tuesday. And today, they're the fourth gainer, even though they lost 0.15%, because that's where they fall in the order. All right, now let's go to consumer discretionary. They were our second gainer on Monday. Let's move on. Consumer staples, guys, they were our gainer on Monday. Number one. They were our number two gainer on Tuesday and our number two gainer on Wednesday. So even with everything that's been going on, all this red we've been seeing, consumer staples is holding up. All right. So energy has showed up 3 times at the top or the bottom. The bottom 3 or the top 3. So on Monday, they were the number one loser. Tuesday, they were the number 2 loser. And Wednesday, they were the number 1 gainer. Got it. So let's go to financials. Financials was the number 3 loser today. So kind of quiet there. Healthcare, they were the number 1 gainer on Tuesday. Now we're looking at industrials. They were the number 3 loser on Tuesday and the number 1 loser today. And now information technology. Ooh, they stay losing, don't they? Yeah. So they were the number 3 loser on Monday, number 1 loser on Tuesday, number 2 loser today. Ooh, wee. All right, materials, a little quiet there. Real estate, they were number 3 gainer today, and they still was red. Utilities, number 2, a loser on Monday. Okay. So who showed up the most? Wasn't that consumer staples? Yeah, it showed up 3 times. Information technology showed up 3 times, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. All right, I don't want to spend no more time on this, but that's what we got, guys. All right, so let's move on. So let's go here. Bam, 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 bam. Yeah, biggest gainers and losers. Now, let's look at the S&P 500 biggest gainer and loser of the day. But first, we're going to look at the loser so we can end the night on a high note. And guys, if you're tuning in, please hit that like button. It helps out tremendously. I appreciate you. And consider subscribing to the channel. So let's go back to the charts. Let's go here. All right. Yeah. We're going to the watch list. So we need to go over here. Pro market close. Collapse that. Go up here to market watch. This is the S&P 500 heat map. We don't need that. We're going to quotes. Pull up the right watch list. So here is, let me pull this down so you can see it. We're going to public R through W. There's the S&P 500 watch list. Let's pull up the correct columns. So that's market recap. And then we're going to make sure we go to the top. Now we're at the top. Put me back on the screen. Put this in descending order. There we go. So guys, the biggest loser for today is Lennox International Incorporated, ticker LII. Guys, they lost 20.97% today. Somebody's sick. That's what I'm telling you. The previous close was $544.11, and they closed today at $430.02. I wonder if they had earnings. So we're going to look at that when we go to the charts. Okay, let's do a hypothetical. Pull up a calculator, always on top. Guys, y'all got to give me some numbers. We got to start using some random numbers. You know, I'm not, we need a 4-digit random number. I'm gonna start doing that where y'all can put that in the chat. Just give me a 4-digit random number that we can start using, because I know I'm using the same numbers every time we do this. So let's do 4,500 today times the 20.97% decline. So we make that negative, we negate it, use the percentage, and there we go. So if somebody had invested $4,500 and lost that 20.97%, they would have lost $943.65, guys. So if we add the principal back to it, the $4,500, they would be left with $3,556.35. All right, so we got that. Let's link this watch list to the Analyze tab. Now we select this, and now we go to Analyze, and Lennox will be there. So we can see that Lennox International Incorporated is in the industrial sector. All right, think about it. Let's look at our notes. Industrials. Let's go to our notes. Industrials. Industrials, number one loser today. Now, guys, this don't happen all the time. All right, but just so happened, the biggest company that lost today is also inside the biggest sector that lost today. Okay, so we keep an eye on this stuff. So we're going to look and see how that sector perform, that industry that Lennox is inside of performs, and the sub industry that is inside of performs. All right, so let's go over here to the market watch tab, and then go over here to the visualize sub tab. All right, take me off the screen, and where we're going, guys, we're looking for industrials. Industrials is right here. All right here. So let's go there, and we're looking for LII. Now, guys, if they have a small market cap, it's going to be hard to find them. So I'm browsing. There's a lot of different companies in here. Oh boy, I thought I saw them. Okay, I see them. They're in building products, guys. So it's right over here. So the industry is building products. That's the industry they're inside of. So they're inside the industrial sector, building products industry. And now we're looking for the sub industry they're inside of. Guys, the sub industry is the same as the industry. If I use this drop down, you will see it. Building products is both the industry and the sub industry. And all of them are red. All of them. JCI lost the least. They lost 0.61%. So we got it. Let's back out and go back to industrial. So we can see a few green in there, guys, but the majority of the industrial sector, even in these different industries, this looks like this the one that did okay. Two industries. You have commercial services and supplies. We can read that right over here. And this one seemed like it did well. Professional services. Okay. So that's what we got there. Let's go back to the Analyze tab. And we can see Lennox International under the company profile. Here's a link to their website. Before we visit their website, let's read a little bit about the company, and then we'll go over there. Lennox International Incorporated, together with its subsidiaries, designs, manufactures, and markets products for the heating, ventilation, wait a minute. Woo, slow down. Heating, ventilation, air conditioning, and refrigeration markets in the United States, Canada, and internationally. Got it. I got it. All right, so let's put me back on the screen. Take that down. Let's go to their website. That's that. We got their ticker up. Yes, we do. All right. I didn't get a chance to browse over the website before We did the live stream, but hopefully it won't take that long to find what we need. And actually, guys, I see it. There's about, there's careers, there's investors. Bam. So let's scroll over this page. And then we're going to start clicking. A history of innovation and the pursuit of perfect air. Got it. Explore residential and commercial solutions by clicking air. No. Lennox residential. Explore products for homeowners. Utilize tools and resources for dealers. Partner with us. Become a Lennox dealer. Lennox commercial. Find a commercial contractor. Explore commercial HVAC equipment, preventative maintenance service, and energy management. We care for our people and communities through incorporating sustainability into our charitable giving, volunteering, inclusive hiring practices, and diverse initiatives, all to advance an equitable world. Got it. Sustainability. We care for our planet and communities. Yes. I actually have a Lennox AC unit. And guys, it's very quiet. You know, like the fans that keep your AC unit outside your home or whatever cool. Some of those fans can be really loud, but the Lennox product I have is very quiet. So if it's near a window around your house or something like that, it won't be too noisy. Like you can hear it through the wall and near that window of your house or whatever. So I like their products, at least from the products I got, you know. So yeah, all right. So we're at the bottom of the page. Let's talk about it. Oh yeah, everything we need is at the top. All right, so let's go to about. Guys, flies on a mission. Let me warn you about them flies. I done told you when the door get open, they be like, "Ooh, the door open." I got one of them in here now. I'm gonna get him when we get off this live stream. Ooh, I'm gonna get him. He all through here. He trying to make a cameo. So I just want to let you know I see it. All right. The Lennox Advantage, providing perfect air through innovative and sustainable climate control solutions. As a corporation, we are always expanding our direct to network distribution model, dealer and distributor networks, and digital tools so we can serve every customer with excellence, overview, values, innovation, and leadership. So I got to click all those. So I'm like, is it going to be on this page? It look like they still selling us stuff. Yeah, guys, I think we're on. All right, here we go. Core values and guiding behaviors. There is something in the air at Lennox. It is our culture centered around our core values of integrity, respect, and excellence, which have been part of our company's success since our founding in 1895. To reinforce our core values, we defined a set of guiding behaviors that influence our daily actions and decisions to better serve our stakeholders. Integrity, respect, excellence. So they break it down. You can accountability. Let's do this. Integrity, accountability, positive engagement, trust, respect, customer experience, sustainability and talent, excellence, innovation, quality, and results. Got it. So here's history about the company. That's a long, I didn't know they was in business since 1800s. Our leadership. Got it. Okay, now let's go to careers. Let's see what we can find them benefits. How well do you take care of the employees? Career, step into the world where your passion for energy efficient solutions finds its true calling. Come stay and grow with us. You see opportunities, awards, testimonials, life at Lennox, and values. Okay, engineering, those are different departments. Operations, awards, so there's things they've been recognized for. Testimonials, beautiful picture. Here we go. Early careers, benefits, community, inclusion and diversity, employee resource groups, building your career, core values and guiding behaviors. We talked about that already. All right, so let's go to benefits. We found them. Bam, learn more. Come on, give it to me. Zoom in. There we go. Have you scheduled your annual health screening? All right, they asking about your health. Like they gave you the benefits. Now take care of yourself. That's what they're saying. We gave you the benefits, now use them. Benefit spotlight. Getting active just got easier. Stay motivated with a health coach. How to be a good money role model. More spotlights. Here we go. Take charge of your total well-being. Ooh, that's a lot of stuff. All right, here we go. Guys, they cover a lot of stuff. Let me take me off the screen. There you go. There we go. Your benefits, your money, life changes, your health, your work-life balance, your well-being. Remember, links to their website is also down in the description for your convenience. Hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel. I greatly would appreciate it, and I appreciate you. All right, now let's go back here, Lennox, and we're gonna go to investors, blow this up, make sure we're zoomed in. Yeah, put me back on the screen. Looks like the stock information is right here at the top. Company overview, let's browse over this and then we'll click on that, okay? Company overview. Lennox is dedicated to serving the North American heating and cooling industry, a growing market fueled by intelligent technology advancements and environmental sustainability regulatory intervention. All right, events, news releases, featured presentations, sustainability commitment. Got it. All right, here we go. Stock. So they got the quote, historical price lookup. It looks like to pay a dividend, and they have other tools for investors. Let's go to stock quote and chart. Here we go. There's the stock quote, and wouldn't you know it, the chart has not loaded up. So this is what I meant when we were looking at Microsoft earlier. So Microsoft didn't outsource the stock data. So I think most of these companies do what they're doing. Like they're pulling this data from a different company. So if you see right down here at the bottom, it says source LSEG. I don't know what that is, and I don't care that much to look it up right now, but I believe that's the company or source that they're getting the chart information for. And what Microsoft they did, they was like, no, we out cold. We just gonna send you to our website. We own them, and they're gonna pull up our stock for you, and then you're gonna be cold. We gonna give you everything. Yeah, so Microsoft did their thing. All right, so we seen that. Yeah. All right, let's talk about what I found in my research about the company, and then we can go to the chart. So let's go here. We already got that pulled up. Cool. All right, Lennox International Incorporated, ticker LII. When it comes to their goods and services, guys, they manage climate control systems across the residential, commercial, and industrial markets, offering solutions such as, number one, complete home comfort options, including Dave Lennox signature air conditioners and heat pumps for homeowners. Number two, scalable building climate products, including Model L, rooftop units, split systems, and commercial controls for business owners. Number three, and optimized commercial refrigeration systems tailored for cold storage, food preservations, and supermarket cooling. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Home Depot Incorporated, ticker HD, Walmart Incorporated, ticker WMT, and Target Corporation, ticker TGT. Now, let's look at the charts. Let's go to the charts. Man, it takes some will, it takes some discipline to ignore that fly, don't it? I seen it. I just was like, you're not gonna ruin my day. That's what that was. All right, here we go. We back to the charts. Yeah, let's go to the right time frame. Ooh, that look nasty, guys. Man, look like something missing on my charts. Are we on the right? Oh, I know where we're at. We're at the wrong place. We need to be on the day. There we go. Ooh, that made me kind of nervous. I'm like, something missing. Ooh, that still look nasty, whether that other stuff missing or not. So let's start breaking this down. Guys, we're looking at Lennox. There we go with their ticker in the symbol box. We're looking at a 1-year daily chart. They have a 52-week high of $656.37. They have a 52-week low of $428. Guys, that happened today. Not just that candle, that low, that 52-week low happened today. So this was the previous 52-week low. And that was $434.06. But they made a new one today. Ooh, wee. Oh, man. You know what's crazy about this? And then we'll move on. It just caught my attention. If you look right here, the adjusted EPS for the previous quarter was $3.35. It's almost double over here, guys. It's $7.72 now, and even with that higher adjusted EPS, the stock went down like that. And this is what I try to share with people. Whether the earnings are good or bad, it doesn't mean good, the stock price is going to go up, or bad, the stock price is going to go down. It's a lot of volume that comes in around earnings, and institutions or smart money could just use that volume as an opportunity to say, you know what? I see some other opportunities in the market. I think my money will be better used somewhere else. I'm going to take this as an opportunity to take it out. And it's not about the earnings being good or bad. It's just about the opportunity to take advantage of that volume to take your money out. So I hate the fact that most people are under the impression they get confused if they're thinking that good earnings mean price up and bad earnings mean price down. That's why you're confused. Because they be like, I don't know what happened. We have no idea. They beat on everything. They know what's going on. I hate that they do that. All right, so let's go to the higher time frame, guys. We talked about that. Take me off the screen. So now we're looking at a 10-year weekly chart. And yeah, we got 2016 right there. So we do have the full 10 years. Here's the 10-year low of $140.97. 10-year high of $689.54. And that was in 2025. That was last year. What week was that? That was July 21st. Ooh, look at that nasty weekly candle, guys. Ooh. Oh my gosh, let me put me back on the screen. That's a weekly candle. That big green, that big red nasty weekly candle right there. I don't see another candle on this chart that's larger than that one. So we can see, let's start getting some levels, guys. I'm seeing this level. I know this is far away from the price, but let me just start marking what I see. So that's around 352. Yeah, that price level is $352.99. And of course, if you've been following along, like I know you have, let me take me off the screen so you can see. This was the area I was looking at, but we can see that $352.99 is also near a psychological price level of $350. Okay, and we probably could have took that down a little bit further, but I like where it was where I started at, because like if you look right here. Yeah, it would be a little bit more accurate to come down a little further. I'm gonna show you why. Let's zoom in. So you see, we don't have these other candles. We missing these, but we can at least get these other two. So let me show you what I mean. If we remove that drawing and then we put it on the red one or the green one, let's use the red one. You see how it catches more candles using that one? So you have the open, you have the close on this green one. You have the high on the red one. You have the close on the green one. You got the open on the red one. You have the wicks on these. So we brought it down just a little bit more, and look how close it is to, let me move this over, $350. Now, when we zoom in on this level as well, or on this area, we can see the open on this candle is close to it, the close on this candle, the open on this green one, the close on the red one. So that's what I'm looking for, guys. I just want to point it out to you. So we zoomed in and made it a little bit more specific, because I was looking, I was like, I think we can get a little closer to 350 based off what I'm seeing and catch more of those candles. So what I'm looking at here, also, we zoom in this week right here, our current week that we're in. If we put a price level right here, it already broke it. Yep, it doesn't even matter which one we use, it already broke it. So I'm gonna put that price level there, and I'm gonna look over here to the right, which you can't see because I'm blocking. I'm gonna bring it over, and I'm looking at this historical price level in here, seeing if I could find anything. And it looks like if we use this candle right here, we can catch a few. Not gonna be able to get all of them, but we can come close if we use that one. That's at 420, and that's so close to the other one. I'm trying to see where this candle, this weak candle, found that support. So I'm going to say that's a support zone, guys. That's how I'm gonna do that. That's going to be a zone to me, and that zone is like a $16 zone. But yeah, it's a zone. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put this zone on here, and then we're going to move on. So we use the rectangle tool. Wait a minute. Rectangle tool. We use the open of that candle, and then I don't know. Oh, we use the candle right here. We use the low of this week. There we go. All right. So we're going to extend this over to December 1st, and then we're going to go ahead and go to the higher time frame. Guys, thank you for hanging with me and staying with me. I might be moving a little slow, but I'm trying to I want to break this down, break it down. All right, so we're going to, it's 2026. That is? Yeah, we just zoomed in. Wait, is it? Yeah, because that's the first. Yeah, got it. Okay, yeah, we're good. All right, then we talked about that psychological level. All right, now let's talk about the 200-week simple moving average and the 9-week simple moving average. Let's get that down. So the 9-week simple moving average is at $528.22, and the 200-week simple moving average is at $466.23. And now we've identified this zone as support. That's where this week is at right now. It's in between that zone between $436.79 and $420.62. All right. And before it gets down there to that, take me off the screen. I see one more potential area of support. We can see over here, you got a few candles responding to that price level of $384.98. So those are my 3 levels on the larger time frame of support, guys. All right, now let's go to the lower time frame. Put me back on the screen and let's pick this up, man. Let's make this a little faster. So yeah, we can see what we got going on there that look good. All right, so guys, we had a big gap. Between yesterday and today. And they had earnings today, and let's see when it was announced. It was announced before the market opened, so that makes sense. So they were able to react to it today when the market opened. Okay, so let's go ahead and use this rectangle tool and identify this gap. So yesterday's low, today's high, turn it yellow. It gapped right through that 200-day simple moving average. That's crazy. All right, let's go to December 1st. There we go. Extend that over, put our price levels. That is going to be the bottom of the zone. That is the top of the zone. The 200-day simple moving average is at $510.36. And the 9-day simple moving average is at $526.74. Guys, I'm seeing both of those as resistance if the price is able to get all the way back up there, because it's all the way down here. And I'm looking to see if we have something else over here. This could potentially be resistance as well. That's a long, it's actually, there's a couple ways we could go about this, okay? I'm going to go about it. Ooh, I missed that. Guys, we got another gap here. Yeah, we got another gap here. Ooh, so let's do the gap and then we'll move on. I'm just going to use this. So edit properties, turn it yellow. Now, some of this gap has been filled, and I'm going to show you what I'm talking about, and then we can move on because we spend a lot of time on this company. This wick on this red candle right here started to fill that gap, if you can see that, okay? But that gap has not been filled in regular trading hours until today. So since that gap has been filled, we're going to change that color to that lighter color, but we're still going to keep in mind that previous gaps turn into resistance, support or resistance, depending on where the price is. So since the price is right here, that gap, that previous gap would be resistance. I'll put the price level at the bottom and the price level at the top. Now, the area I was going to look at to put as resistance was going to be in the middle of that gap, previous gap anyway. So I'm happy with that. All right. So let's go ahead and get the stock quote for Lennox. So go up to the settings, cut on the floating data box, and let's get it. So Lennox opened today at $491. They had a high of $491.90. They had a low of $428, and they closed today at $430.02, which was a trading range of $63.90, guys. And the trading volume, they traded 1.8 million shares of this stock today. Now, I started giggling. Let me tell you why. Because I know that companies usually have a spike in volume following earnings announcements. They only traded 1.8 million after earnings was announced, and it gapped down, and it was a large red candle. So this had to have been significant volume for compared to the average daily trading volume for this specific company. So I started giggling because I'm thinking that their average trading volume, guys, might be under 1 million shares in a daily trading session. But we about to figure that out. So let's cut off the floating data box. Take me off the screen and let's go over there. I could be wrong. Here we go. The average trading volume for Lennox in a daily trading session, guys, is 451,000 shares. So they did more than 3 times that. I think almost like 4. What's the math on that? 4 times 3 will put us at 12. What were they, 5 times? Let's bust out the calculator. I just spent this much time doing all this other stuff. Just use the calculator, clear it out. So that would be 1,800,000. Yep, that's 1.8 million divided by, rounded, 1,450,000. 4 times. 4 times. 4 times what they normally do. Just today, following earnings. And then Tuesday, they came in with 1 million. They traded 1 million shares before today. So that was Tuesday's volume. So we definitely see an increase in volume with the volume we had today. And both of those days were above average. All right. Now let's go ahead and put me back on the screen. Let's talk about the volume percentile. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, today's volume was higher than 99.6% of those trading days volumes, which means, or to be more exact, only one of those days had higher volume than today, guys. Crazy. Crazy. And this is today's candle. I don't want that arrow showing, pointing at the day we ain't actually looking at. But there we go. All right. So now let's talk about the gainer. Let's go to the gainer. We need to get the gainer now. So we're going to go up here to the watch list tab. Let's take this back to S&P 500. Go to the quotes sub tab. Put this in ascending order. Guys, the biggest gainer for today is a Garmin Limited. Ticker symbol GRMN. Guys, they had a gain of 16.23% today. Previous close, $253.65, and they closed today at $294.83. Crazy. All right. And these are companies we haven't covered before. This is kind of quiet companies, you know. The volume on the preview, the average trading volume on Lennox was under 500,000. So it's like real hush hush, you know. But let's go ahead and do our hypothetical. Pull up the calculator. There we go. I done cleared everything out. I think we was using $4,500. $4,500, 16.23%, 0.23% gain, turn into a percentage. That person with a gain, $730.35. Add the principal back to it, $4,500. They total investment would have grown to $5,230.35. Bada boom, bada bing. Minimize that. Select this. Let's go over to the Analyze tab. And now we can see that Garmin is inside the consumer discretionary sector. So we're going to see how that sector perform, how that industry is inside of perform, and how the sub-industry Garmin is inside of performed. All right. So let's go ahead and go over here to the Market Watch tab. Then we go to the Visualize sub tab. And we are looking for, after taking me off the screen, consumer discretionary. It is right here, guys. And it's kind of mixed. It seems like we see more red because the market caps of Amazon and Tesla are so large, but it kind of looks balanced based off the number of companies to me, okay? So we're looking for Garmin. We're looking for GRMN. Guys, it's right here, bright green down here in the corner. You can't see it because of the sponsor button. There we go. So you can see it now. There we go. There's Garmin. So they are in the household. Let's go ahead and click it. The industry they're inside of is the household durables, okay? And now inside of they're in a sub-industry by themselves, guys, consumer electronics. So you got the consumer discretionary sector. Garmin is inside the consumer discretionary sector, household durables industry, and the consumer electronics sub-industry. That's what we got, guys. And if we back out, come on, back on out. Household durables. The home building was all red. it was all red. Consumer discretionary. All right, so let's go back to the Analyze tab and let's talk about the company before we visit their website. Company profile, Garmin Limited. Here's their website. Links to their website is also down in the description. Garmin Limited designs, develops, manufactures, markets, and distributes a diverse range of GPS-enabled products and navigation, communication, sensor-based, and information products and services worldwide. Got it. Now, let's go to their website. Put me back on the screen. Take that disclaimer down. We got that up. Yeah, guys, we're good. All right, so we're on their home page. Looking at the top, guys, when you go to these consumer discretionary websites, you can forget it. They're going to sell you something. That's what they own. So I know that what we're looking for is going to be at the bottom of the page. Everything we see on our way down is going to be buy. Watch. So watches. What's new? Watches. What's that? A laser rangefinder. They got all different types of stuff up in here. Watches, I recognize the watches. The other stuff I would have to read. Monitor patients with Garmin Health stories, how we connect people to their passions. Shop by category. Smartwatches, this is easier. Smartwatches, auto and home, sports and fitness, outdoor recreation, marine and navigation, and aviation. I'm saying navigation, aviation. Got it. So now we're at the bottom of the page. And like I said, everything we need right here. So here's under company. We got about us. We have investors and career opportunities. I got two different things that say career. So early careers and career opportunities. Well, that's how they designed it. Let's go to about us. It is what it is. Company, are we zoomed all the way in? Yeah, we're where we need to be. Company, about us. So we have about, history, leadership, and locations. About us. Oh, I like how organized they got it, guys. They made it super easy. So let's get this over with. About us, engineer on the inside for life on the outside. I like that. That's a little unique thing. Play on words. Garmin products have revolutionized the aviation, automotive, fitness, marine, and outdoor markets. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I thought this company was gonna go out of business because this used to be the leading company, if I'm not mistaken, for navigation systems in your car before we could get it on our phone. Like before it started being something on our smartphones where we could just use our phone to navigate. We used to have those little Garmin navigation boxes and devices in our vehicles, and it was very, very popular. It was very popular until they started putting it on the phone. And I thought the company was going to go out of business, but obviously I was mistaken. So mission, to be an enduring company by creating superior products for automotive, aviation, marine, outdoor, and sports that are an essential part of our customers' lives. Vision, to be the global leader in every market we serve, and our products will be sought after for compelling design, superior quality, and best value. Values. I'm only trying to read one sentence, but they wrote some long sentences. The foundation of our culture is honesty, integrity, and respect for associates, customers, and business partners. Got it. Strategies. I'm not reading all these because of what happened before. I'm just going to read the headline. Strategies. People, products, operations, growth, and sustainability. Guys, links to this website is down in the description for your convenience. They did a great job with what was it? Vision. Yep. Mission, vision, and values. They did a great job by having that right there at the top. Didn't have purpose, but when you got most of them, you don't need that anyway. It kind of encompasses the same thing. All right, so let's go to, take me off the screen so you can see it. Career opportunities. Guys, tell me, they doing a great job, guys. The benefits are right there. Oh, I'm loving it. I'm loving it. We fuel people's passions. We make products for everyone, for everywhere. We make products for everywhere that people live, work, and play. Adventure begins at Garmin. Guys, that's a video. You can watch that on your own. Links down in the description. Seasonal opportunities. Why Garmin? Here are 3 more videos, and it looks like there's something they've been recognized for. Join our talent network to connect with our recruiting team and upload your resume. Follow Garmin Careers on social to get the latest information. All right. Got it. Go to benefits. Bam. All right. More ways to help you pursue your passions. No matter what stage you're at in life or career, we offer benefits that help you and your family access medical care, save for the future, and prepare for any number of life surprises and milestones. Got it. So educational reimbursement, pilot certification. What? Healthcare, well-being program. 401k match, employee stock. They got a lot of stuff, guys. I'm not reading all that. There you go. And you know where to find it. So there we go. Additional perks. They got more. Take me off so you can read. There you go. I mean, they just got benefits galore. Got it. All right, now let's go to investors. It's right here, guys. Investors. Bam. Let's get ready to go to the charts after I tell you about my research found about the company. Did they zoom us out? Yeah, that looks small to me. Here is stock information right here at the top. Here's the drop down for it. Cool. They look like they pay a dividend as well. Get to know Garmin, investor relations. For more than 35 years, Garmin has pioneered new products that fuel people's passions across 5 business segments: fitness, outdoor, aviation, marine, and automotive OEM. We believe every day is a chance to beat yesterday. Wait a minute. They just said something that's interesting to me. They said automotive OEM. So let me ask AI something right quick, and I'm gonna tell you what the question is. I wonder if Garmin has partnered up with automotive companies to put their navigation device directly in the vehicles, because I think OEM means it's dealing with something like an original part. So give me a second. Is Garmin, let's use the ticker, partnered with automotive companies to install their navigation system in their vehicles? And what does OEM stand for? Let's get both of them. Let's get both of it out the way. Searching the web. Look at this. Guys, I'm 2 for 2. I'm 2 for 2. I'm on a roll tonight. Finding clues on these websites. I'm 2 for 2. Yes, Garmin has a major automotive OEM business segment that partners directly with vehicle manufacturers to supply factory installed navigation, infotainment software, digital instrument clusters, and domain controllers. Guys, they're our biggest gainer today. This is why I'm saying this is important to understand what these companies actually do. Garmin serves as a tier 1 supplier and partner to major automakers, including BMW Group, Mercedes-Benz, Toyota, Honda, Ford, Nissan, Geely, as well as power sports brands like Yamaha and Kawasaki. What OEM stands for? OEM stands for original equipment manufacturer. I knew it had to do something with parts. Guys, this is crazy. Hey, we on the road tonight. I'm feeling it. All right, so let's go here. Let's talk about what I found in my research, and then we can go to the charts. So here we go. Oh, no, that was what we were biggest gainer. All right, Garmin Limited, ticker GRMN. Let me say, I'm sound like I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on, wait a minute. Garmin Limited, ticker GRMN. When it comes to their goods and services, they manage GPS navigation technology across the fitness, aviation, and marine markets, offering solutions such as: number 1, complete outdoor fitness options, including Forerunner smartwatches and Phoenix wearables for athletes and adventurers. Number 2, scalable aviation avionics. That's a word. Products, including flight displays, radar systems, and autopilots for aircraft operators. Number 3, and optimized marine electronic systems tailored for chart plotting, sonar imaging, and vessel tracking. Looking at their S&P 500 clients and partners, notable names include Boeing Company, ticker BA, Apple Incorporated, ticker AAPL, and Textron Incorporated, ticker TXT. Now, let's look at Garmin on the charts. Let's pull up the charts. Here we go. We go there. Go here. We already got the ticker pulled up. And the disclaimer. Guys, please hit that like button and consider subscribing to the channel if you haven't done so already. I'm not surprised the stock went up. After finding out this company do all this, especially after I thought they was going out of business just because the GPS inside the car that you bought from Best Buy or Circuit City wasn't popular anymore. Boy, you got to do your research and your homework. Trying to tell you. All right, now let's go ahead and break this down. We are looking at Garmin On the 1 year daily chart, they have a 52-week low of $186.67. They have a 52-week high of $304. And it looks like they had earnings today. Let's mouse over and see what we got. Guys, they had earnings today, and it was announced before the market opened. Was after 12 o'clock, but you know what I mean. It was on the 29th. And it was announced before the market opened, so the market was able to respond to it today. Ooh, wow. All right, so let's go here. And now let's go to the higher time frame, and then we can get these technicals done. Wow. All right, so here's 2016, and we are looking at a 10-year weekly chart for Garmin. Their 10-week low is $46.05. 10-year high is $304, which is also our 52-week high. Now, when we're looking at these technicals, I'm gonna make this quick, guys, because I'm ready to wrap up the show. We already after 12 o'clock, so here we go. Go here. Bam. Nope, that's not where I wanted it to go. So let's undo that. We want it right. No, stop going to that one. I want this one. Yeah. All right. So we can see that. Where did that go? So this previous low here, what did it catch? I'm going to just go ahead and put it there. All right. This was a pullback here. I'm gonna use that one. That's not what I wanted. Let me zoom in. This thing acting up. All right, put me back on the screen. Undo that one. I want it to do. You can see this better. Let's use that one. Yeah, I like that. Price is all the way up here now, so I'm seeing that as a level it was responding to as well. I'm moving a little bit faster, guys. So that's what I got on the larger time frame. Let's get the 200-day simple moving average. That's $168.65. The 9-week, did I say 200-day? Let's fix that. We are on a weekly chart, 10-year weekly chart. So let's make sure I'm saying the right thing. This is the 200-week simple moving average. This is the 9-week simple moving average. So the 200-week simple moving average is coming in at $168.65. The 9-week simple moving average is coming in at $245.77. And here is the closing price for today. And we still got a couple of days left on that weekly candle, but this is the weekly candle we're looking at right there. Okay, so we got those levels. Now we can go ahead and go to the lower time frame, and I'm gonna speed up as much as I can. I'm seeing a lot of gaps on this chart for Garmin, guys. I'm seeing a lot. It's been riding that 200-day simple moving average for a while. So here's the 200-day simple moving average at $228.88. Here is our 9-day simple moving average at $249.51. That's also near a psychological price level of $250. And then we have a gap, and notice that this gap that happened between, take those off the screen, between yesterday and today, use this mouse, go here. That price level of $255.90 is really close to the high of yesterday. So yesterday's high was $255.60, 30 cents off. Now what we're going to do, we're going to turn this yellow to identify that that's a gap. Then we're going to extend this over to December 1st. Guys, I'm talking fast and I'm moving fast because I really want to wrap up the show. And if you guys have been rocking with me, I appreciate you because I have been taking my sweet time doing this, but I'm going to try to move a little bit faster. Then we have a previous gap over here that was closed that could possibly act as support if the price was to come back down. What is that doing? I have no idea. So let's do this. And let's delete all of that. And then use this tool for the rectangle. Identify this gap. Now this gap has been filled. So we're going to use the lighter color, which would be that one. And we're going to extend this over to December 1st. Just want to identify, pay attention that that was a previous gap. There we go. And then put the price levels. So that's the top. That's the bottom. And then I saw another gap over here, but I'm going to leave that because the price is up here. So the support that I'm seeing would be $249.51, around that $250 psychological price level. This support zone from that previous gap that should now act as support. but then it's above the gap that it just had. So that's going to be support as well. And because this is all-time highs, guys, we don't have to put any resistance up there. Sky's the limit as far as right now. Okay, so that's what we got. It was actually pretty quick. I think we did pretty good. Now, let's go ahead and get the stock quote for Garmin. This candle's so big. I'm trying to position it to get to where we need to be. Let's go ahead and go to the settings. We about to wrap up. So here we go. So Garmin opened today at $261.81. They had a high of $304. They had a low of $261.04. They closed today at $294.83, which was a trading range of $42.96. All right. Trading volume. They traded 3.6 million shares of this stock today. And like I was saying, I don't think these companies that ended up being the biggest gainer and the biggest loser today have high volume on average. Now, what I would consider high volume on average is if they have an average trading volume of more than at least 10 million, like 10 million shares in a daily trading session. So somewhere between 5 and 10 million to me is significant volume for a stock to have. So when I'm seeing volume less than 5 million on earnings or reacting to earnings, that makes me think the average trading volume is going to be less than 1 million or depending on where it is. You know what I mean? That's where I'm getting that from. All right. So is this a big deal? Is it a little deal? We're about to find that out. So let's talk about the volume, the average trading volume. Take the floating data box off the screen, take me off the screen, and here we go. The average trading volume for Garmin in a daily trading session, guys, is 928,000 shares. It's less than 1 million. And today, they did 3.5 times what they normally do on average because they did 3.6 million shares just today. And then on Tuesday, this candle right here, yesterday, they did 1.1, we can round it off to 1.2 million shares the day before earnings, guys. And they were able to close above that previous gap that would have been resistance. You see that? Didn't pay attention to that. So on Tuesday, they just happened to close above these previous highs that had peaked through there and that previous gap that was acting as resistance. You see how I was having a hard time getting through that previous gap, but it didn't only get through it. It got through it on high volume. It was higher than average, this volume right here for that day. Okay. So that's what we got there. Take all them arrows off, put me back on the screen. And they do pay a dividend. They pay $1.05 per share. That's what they paid out last time. The previous adjusted EPS was $2.08, and today they reported $2.81. So we didn't talk about that before, but that's what we got. Let's finish talking about the volume. Guys, this ain't. So out of the most recent 252 trading days, guys, when we talk about the volume percentile, today's volume was higher than all of those days. So there were no days above today's volume out of the most recent 252 trading days. Guys, we done. I don't know who's still here. I don't know who watched. I don't know none of that, but I know we done. So let's go ahead and go here and wrap the show up, guys. Let's wrap it up. You already know. I hope that you learned something, and I hope that you earned something. Thank you guys for joining me tonight. This Sunday, August 2nd at 9 p.m. Eastern Time, we're reviewing this week's biggest gainers and losers, market sentiment, market volatility, S&P 500 sector performance, and creating a watch list for upcoming earnings. And make sure you keep tuning in weekdays following the market trading session at 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Take care and God bless.